Moving on, the civil service preliminaries may have been delayed. This after the government urged the UPSC to delay the exam, keeping in mind massive protests by students claiming that the exam puts Hindi-speaking and regional candidates at a disadvantage, making it difficult for them in turn to clear the exam. After the matter was raised in the parliament today, Jitendra Singh, the Minister of State for Personnel, assured that aspirants would not be discriminated against because of their language.
We have with us Mr. Jitendra Singh to speak to us on the issue of UPSC. Sir, there's a lot of anxiety among students over this issue.
No, we would like to appeal to the students not to put themselves into any physical or mental agony, because the government is already seized of their problem and government is looking at their issues with all the seriousness and sensitivity at its command. The government had constituted a 3-member committee to look into the issue and to offer its report. The report has not yet been received. We have written to the committee to hasten up the process and immediately at the earliest provide us the report, so that depending on the contents and the conclusions and the observations of the report, we can decide the next course of action.
What happens to the date of prelims? There is some ambiguity as to whether students would like to know.
You see, in matters like this, unless we receive the report and we know what are the contents and the observations made in the report, it wouldn't be easy to forecast or to predict the further course of action. So once we are in the receipt of the observations made by the committee which was appointed for this purpose, we would not be able to actually talk about what is going to happen later on. But whatever it may be, whatever the case be, let us convey this to the students also through your medium, that the government is always looking at their issue with a great degree of sensitivity, more than ever before, and we are not ever in favor of any kind of injustice or bias happening to any section of society or any section of student on any account, be it the reason of language or be it the reason of any other factor.
Thank you for speaking with Headlines Today, Mr. Jitendra Singh, who says that they're waiting for the recommendations of the committee before taking any action. With camera person Ashwali Hiran, Arthur Khan in Delhi for Headlines Today.